Hey guys, welcome. It's Friday night, so it's time for the Retro Buzz, and we are back. And Glenn, of course, is back in his habitat for humanity.
Very fitting. Yes.
Your habitat for humanity. Are we making any progress there? I see that box is still sitting there from 2 weeks ago.
Actually, yeah, it is. Actually, it's not going too well because State Farm, who's my home insurance carrier, is not really paying for anything right now. So, the cleanup people did a really nice job. Mary and Air Care Environmental did come out, did a really nice job. $30,000 worth of a job.
Wow.
And right now, $30,000 to do this cleanup, and State Farm's like, yeah, we're not paying it.
Why?
So, I don't know. So we're having a little argument with my good neighbors. State Farm is there, and as a good neighbor, they lit a torch to my basement and walked away. So that's kind of where we're still at right now.
Well, you're here.
But Blue's doing good. Yeah, I'm here, and Blue's okay. That's more important. But State Farm, thanks.
And we have our great neighbor from the Midwest, Mr. Doug Smith.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm doesn't care. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how the jingle goes. But yeah. Sorry about your bad luck there, Glenn. Hopefully next time you're on a call with them, maybe you can say, hey, what do I pay for exactly if you guys are not going to reimburse me for my house freaking becoming Noah's Ark?
Yeah, real.
Yeah, good analogy there, too, You pay the insurance companies, because you hopefully don't need them. But when you need them, and you actually talk to them on the phone, I'm like, yeah, you got coverage for this, you got coverage for that. You bring people in, yeah, we're not paying it. Great. So I may have to bring all of the hundreds of thousands of people who watch our show here to give my local State Farm a call. Maybe that'll be next week.
I have State Farm too, so now you're making me nervous with this. If it's something that I should reevaluate having State Farm, right?
Yep.
Well,
but we're not talking about that today. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, so don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yes.
Yeah, stuff and things.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about robbing banks and how to do that upcoming. So stay tuned as we get ready to talk about that.
All right, so hopefully everybody was ready with their wallet this week because there were some surprise pre-order drops that showed up on Target yesterday, and then 24 hours later, guess what? They're already gone. They're already sold out, and now they've been completely pulled off the Target website. But Arcade1Up/Target, whoever you want to blame, whoever you want to give credit to, they put up some early pre-orders for the Killer Instinct and Tron arcade cabinets. And I say early pre-orders because you go to the arcade website and they say, hey, these pre-orders are supposed to open later on down the line. Tron was supposed to be, the 19th of October. And of course, Killer Instinct, as you can read right here, is supposed to be 10th of November. But pre-order price on Target was $750, $699 for Tron. So very expensive, and that's not including tax or anything like that. But there was some coupons and some deals that you could stack as of yesterday. But like I said, unfortunately, this is all went by the wayside. You could have saved $100 yesterday, but now you can't save crap because it's all gone. I'm sorry.
You can save $600.
I broke the internet.
You can't get it now.
Yeah,
you can save your whole $600.
That's true. You can save more than $100 by not spending any money at all. You're right, Glenn.
But wait, do you know why?
Frugal mindset for sure.
Do you know why it was pulled off Target, right? It's because of this guy here decided to put it out all over social media. So not only does he have Arcade1Up mad at him, he has Target mad at him because he saved you guys that got in on it $100.
I mean, they really shouldn't be mad at me because, yes, they made less money with those pre-orders, but I'm still pretty confident that they made a lot of money. So, I will pat myself on the back for them since I just made them a whole lot of money. You're welcome, Arcade1Up. You're welcome, everybody on the internet that saved $100. I hopefully everybody that wanted to get those machines was able to get them at that discounted rate because now looks like I said, that ship has sailed, unfortunately.
It happens. Did you end up pre-ordering it though? Well, Glenn, I was going to ask you, but you still got to get your basement back together.
Yeah, I'm the biggest Tron fan on the planet. I mean, by far.
Right.
And I would love to get the cabinet, but right now I am literally in a hole. and I don't have a sinking ship. So right now, that's not going to be in the cards.
Did you, Doug? Did you order it, or did you get even the Killer Instinct? Did you pre-order any of that?
I know this is going to be blasphemy on the internet because everyone is obsessed with Killer Instinct, but that cabinet, that game in particular, just doesn't really do it for me. Like when that was popular in the arcades, I was still fixated on Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I never really gravitated towards Killer Instinct, and I never really played it a whole heck of a lot until like 15 years after it was, in its prime and its heyday. So honestly, the game listing on the Killer Instinct doesn't do anything for me. I'm more excited about Battletoads on that game or that cabinet than anything. Tron, I am talking myself out of because like I want to buy it just for the aesthetic version or the appreciation of it because it's a darn fine looking cabinet. And if you go to the Arcade1Up website, they actually have some physical prototypes shown as opposed to like the pre-rendered digital images that we normally get. And it's got some more details on the cabinet that really make it even more impressive than I was expecting it to be. We're getting that black light, like that's pretty cool. The reflective UV ink on the cabinet, light up front control panel, the light up joystick. I mean,
AKA
it looks like
DRS
they really
light up joystick. That came from me. You know what I'm saying? That light up joystick.
Right and all this for $5.99.
There you go.
Oh
$6.99.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, $6.99. But it looks freaking amazing. But I know my personal opinion, the games don't really hold up, and there's not a whole lot of replayability.
Okay, you
for me
just
personally,
fell off the cliff, Doug. You fell.
Yeah, I know.
You were doing good.
I know. I just put
fell off
a
the
dagger
cliff.
through your old black heart there, Glenn. But the games just won't have a crazy amount of replayability for me personally. But it is one of those things. Like I would think of it and treat it like a piece of art. Like it would be in the room, all lit up with the nice, the UV black light experience, and it would just look awesome. And I'm like, I may be willing to shell out some money for that piece of art. I don't think I'm going to shell out $700 this close to Christmas for it, which seems to be the case. So I think I'll have to play the waiting game and wait for it to be discounted a little bit before I jump in.
Well, the good thing about it is, these new cabinets are having, the more aesthetic look, not a generic look, which I think is what Arcade1Up needs to capitalize on. And that Tron cabinet really does look really, really good. The light up joystick, still my idea. You're welcome, Arcade1Up. But the backlight, and more importantly, the ink, hopefully will not rub off. Hopefully it'll stay. But if it does stay and it's a reflective for that backlight, and that cabinet is going to look phenomenal in your game room.
Wait.
Just sitting there.
I just started thinking about something. Like this chat is going like bananas here. But wait, yeah, I'm like looking around here. You told me 2 weeks ago when we got off this show, because we didn't have a show last week. You told me 2 weeks ago that you were going to have a new system to handle these comments. Where is it?
But I do.
You don't have it.
It's here somewhere. No, I do.
What?
I do. Look, I went on the internet. Right?
Okay.
And I didn't. I use the right word here. I asked for a beautiful woman to potentially, hang out with 3 very handsome men. Or at least one. COOLTOY. And when she saw a COOLTOY, she's like, you know what? Maybe I can do this. So she's actually here.
She's here.
If you got it plugged in.
I think Glenn needs to delete his internet search history immediately.
What? Who is?
What is that?
What is that?
Guys, I want to introduce you to Retro Babe. And what she's going to do is she's going to monitor the chats for us. So if you guys have a good chat, there's something good in the chat somewhere or a super chat, she'll be able to say, guys, once again, you're on a tangent. Now look, reading the chats. And
is this like mail away bride, except this is mail away chat reader? I'm like, what did you do?
Really,
email away bride is what this is.
It's more like
it's
really more of a Siri. It's more of a Siri type of thing.
Oh,
good AI, very good AI.
So this is Siri.
Well, it's Retro Babe. You can speak.
Babe.
Retro Babe.
You got to say Retro
speak.
Babe. Retro Babe,
Retro
please say
Babe.
something. There you go.
Hi, this is Retro Babe.
Hello, Retro Babe.
Glenn,
Skynet is officially online.
I don't know what to think. What do you guys think in the chat? Like, what? You have totally outdone yourself, Glenn.
I mean, the saying is you can find anything and everything on the internet. It's very clear that Glenn did that.
Well, I got nothing else to
dear.
do. Oh, my room is gone. I had nothing else to do with my time. So
I'm one of those girls you buy on the internet, huh?
That's it, from China. So it's actually from
From
China.
China.
Because, yeah, they're very inexpensive there.
Awfully
How'd you get
specific.
me so fast?
That's what she said. But you're virtual. Therefore, as long as it's broadband, you're here.
We got Wolfenose says Glenn's got some weird science business going on this time.
Weird science. Weird science.
I don't know. Doug, let's see where this goes. What do we got here in the Arcade1Up camp still?
So not only did we have pre-orders for the Tron and Killer Instinct that, like I said, went up and then went down immediately. They also officially announced the Ridge Racer cabinet. We'd early on, a couple of weeks ago, got some pre-order leaked from other retailers that, again, let the cat out of the bag a little too early. So we already knew about this. The original pre-order that went up for this that has subsequently already been taken down was $800. So this is going to be the most expensive Arcade1Up cabinet to date. However, we did get some new details. We get the game lineup. So there's going to be 5 games on this machine. So that is a better value. But I will be the first to say these 5 games are very, very, very similar to one another. You're not going to feel like you're playing entirely different games by any means if you're familiar with these 5 games. I mean, they're just so close to each other. But one thing that did catch my attention looking at their features and specifications on the website was they made mention of a steering wheel with vibration. So, I mean, this is not going to be the exact, plug and play crossover from the Outrun cabinet. They're going to actually change some of the components, which is nice. So if we get that rumble feature, which is something that's pretty integral for a nice racing experience, that's going to add to the value of the cabinet, whether or not it's worth $800 plus tax. Obviously, the viewer, is going to be the one that has to make that ultimate decision. But yeah, I mean, 5 games, you get Wi-Fi as well, but the Wi-Fi is for leaderboards only, so you're not going to be able to race against other people and have that kind of experience. So there's pros and cons with it, just like everything else, but I'll be anxious to hear the feedback of the quote-unquote feedback of this steering wheel that Arcade1Up is coming out with.
I think actually Retro Babe would like that cabinet. I think she has
I've been kind of
road rage issues.
Well, she's been like
Road rage? I don't know what you're talking about.
she's over here eyeing up
just don't know how
Doug
to
here. I don't
drive.
know what the heck. She's over there eyeing Doug up. Oh my, you're in trouble now. Okay. I don't know. So one of the big complaints that we saw originally with the driving cabinet, the Outrun one, was the foot pedal. Bobby Vu came out and said, and a few others were saying that it felt cheap, that it could break
Very
easy.
thin plastic. Yeah,
How is this, Doug? Have you found anything out with it? Is it better quality?
I mean, we don't know. Just look. All we have is the digital renders on their website to go off of, and just looking at those digital renders, everything from the base and the riser down looks identical to the Outrun cabinet. So it looks like the exact same pedals. It looks like the same cutout stand-up, version that the Outrun had. So everything we have to look at and go off of as of right now looks like it's going to be exact same as Outrun, which gives me some worries because, if you're spending $800+ on something like that and you get very thin, cheap pedals, I mean, I got a size 12 shoe. I'm going to put my foot through that thing in the first 20 minutes for sure. And that's not even playing aggressively. So I would be very hesitant to plop down that much money if it's still got a very thin, cheap pedal system like the Outrun cabinet did.
They want to know, are they really putting forced feedback in this thing, Doug?
I mean,
that's
what it says.
That's what it says.
I mean,
a rumble motor, a motor off balance. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to go crazy because it's a 3/4 scale arcade cabinet. If you put anything too massive in that thing, it's going to rattle the screws right out of the thing, and it's just going to fall apart.
They're like going on and on in the chat room that you're going to get assimilated
into the Borg.
Yeah, they're going they're still on the Borg. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they're capable of doing. But what did you say it was $8.99?
No, well, $7.99.
Well, till tax and everything.
Yeah, you throw in tax and everything. We'll see.
Probably a grand for Canadians. The poor Canadians.
Oh, at least.
Poor Canadians. Come on now.
Michael B., we're sorry.
And we're very
sorry.
sorry.
Sorry to
Nostalgia,
hear it.
another one.
We're
Michael J.
sorry. Eh?
Fox, another one.
Yeah, with sorry. All right, so Scott has a question here. He's putting up here about Ridge Racer versus Outrun. Which games are better, Outruns or Ridge Racers?
I mean,
in your opinion.
Totally different things. It's hard
Yeah.
to go apples to apples. Me personally, I grew up with Outrun, but I personally had more fun with Ridge Racer, but on the PlayStation. You know, it's one of the first games I purchased on the PlayStation, so I played the heck out of it. But both are fun games. But if I was to choose myself, it'd be Ridge Racer.
I think this is a trick question for you, Doug.
It's not a trick question. Everybody knows I'm a Sega fanboy, so I'm going to say Outrun, mainly because of the music. Obviously, Ridge Racer franchise has better graphics. It came out later, has newer, better technology for sure. But I'm just going to throw a third option in there and say Daytona, which is honestly what I'm waiting for.
Yes.
Because Ridge Racer was supposed to be the competition for Sega Saturn and the Daytona franchise, so to speak. So that's why Ridge Racer was on a PlayStation against Sega Saturn's Daytona USA. So I'm waiting for the inevitable Daytona cabinet.
Right.
So that's one of the many reasons I will not be purchasing this Ridge Racer cabinet. Just
But
because
the Daytona
I
cabinet,
know.
that Daytona cabinet's going to have a link capability, whether it's over Wi-Fi or connect two cabinets. Like when the PlayStation first came out, you could link two PlayStations with a cable for Ridge Racer or games like that. If they do make a Daytona USA, they have to make that sucker linkable, whether it's over a network or local.
Boogity, boogity,
Absolutely.
boogity.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Wolfenaz is talking about Daytona.
Wolfenos.
What did he say?
He said, do Daytona.
Yeah, you really got to stretch that Daytona. Just hold it. Hold that note.
Daytona. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
All right, that works. We can do that.
Yep. You're right, Glenn. AI has come a long way.
It has.
Ronsky wants to hear Retro Babe's thoughts on these cabinets. Remember, if you say the Daytona, you got to hang it.
But first, you always have to ask in the form of a question. Retro Babe, what do you feel about these new cabinets?
I feel they're pricey. Yes.
What do you think would be a good price, Retro Babe?
I would say, I don't know. I'm going to be quite honest. I don't know.
She answers just like Siri does. This is amazing.
I'm telling you.
I do not have the answer you're looking for.
Cannot predict right now.
Wow.
At least you didn't say. Right now, exactly. At least you didn't come back with, well, the weather today in Japan,
the
it's totally off topic.
The nearest pizza place is.
See, you didn't program her well enough. Come on, Glenn.
Look, I don't have a nuclear warhead here either. I had the lightning. I had my friend at the house. We put the bras on our head. This is what we got.
They're saying she's got hungry eyes for COOLTOY.
She does. Look at that. Right there.
There it is.
What can I say? My charms, go beyond the physical realm.
The physical realm.
The digital space as well.
It does. That's why you need a Tron cabinet, because with the Tron cabinet, you get pulled in, you go in the Cyberverse, meet Retro Babe.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of cyber, one of the best games is now going to have a movie, right, Doug?
Another movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another movie. Yeah, I guess I should preface
technically,
that.
I think this is the seventh movie, but
looks like a good one though.
Yeah, this looks to be the good one. So we actually got the new trailer for.
It only took 7 times.
Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City, and this essentially is going to be mashing up the storylines of the first Resident Evil game and the second Resident Evil game. My only concern about this movie is that I hope they're not trying to jam pack too much, because I mean, you're getting characters for both number 1 and number 2 in here. You got Leon, you got Claire, you got scenes and allusions to the mansion. You got them obviously in Raccoon City. So it's hard to tell just given this trailer how much is going to be set in each storyline, and if either one of those storylines get pushed off to the side and relegation to them focusing on the mansion side of things or the Raccoon City side of things. I don't know, but either way, it's got a good cast. It looks true to form. It's got me excited. Like I said, this was the Resident Evil movie I wanted when the first 6 Resident Evil movie came out.
The first one wasn't too bad. The first one was okay.
It was close. It was close enough. And I mean, obviously, video game movies as a whole don't really have the greatest track record. It's a hard thing to really kind of translate into the big screen without looking silly. But just going off this trailer, it feels like they did a good job, and they really tried to stay as close to the source material as obviously they possibly could. Special effects appear to be pretty decent. Just again, going off this trailer because that's all we have to go. But November 24th is when this comes out in theaters. So not far off and in theaters, which is cool. It's not going to just magically show up on.
Look at that right there. Hold on.
Yeah,
scene right here.
this scene. Yeah, that scene in particular. If anybody's ever played the first Resident Evil game, it's such an iconic. It's the first time you get to be introduced to a zombie. So I absolutely love that they had that shot for shot kind of incorporation in there. But we got the zombie dogs. Got zombies, of course.
You know what? The one thing, Doug. The one thing here is, I'm not sure how you feel about it, but they tricked me with the last Mortal Kombat movie as well. That the trailer looked phenomenal, and then the movie came, and I'm like, this sucks. And it was blood in it, great, but the movie stunk. So that's my only concern here. It does look good. It really looks the part, but is this just what we're seeing in the trailer? We're going to get a bomb of a film.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Because luckily, the bar is set pretty mediocre. Like I said, they don't really have to go crazy high to impress people these days. Because like I said, video game movies as a whole don't have the best track record. But
I don't know if you guys see, but Paul Barris says the Mario movie says it's winning an Oscar. No, Mario movie is winning an Oscar. Just you wait.
I mean,
oh, yeah, that's not happening.
God bless the Mario Brothers movie.
Uh,
and everything horrible wrong with it.
Yeah, a movie like the first Mortal Kombat movie, I thought was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't 100% accurate, but I enjoyed it. I really did. The first Resident Evil, I enjoyed it. Then it went downhill from there, like Mortal Kombat went downhill from there. So if I'm not mistaken, this is not from Sony either. Sony had the property before when they took it down the rabbit hole of stinkers. So this is not with Sony anymore. So there's a possibility this new movie studio is hungry and they're going to just stay close to the source material. That's what I don't get. People enjoy the game. That's why they want to see the movie. Stay just close to the source material and you'll have a hit on your hands. That's all you got to do, people. You don't have to be a genius.
Yep.
Well, apparently you do.
She called you out.
Well, I just love the timing of it. First of all, the timing of the release being so close to Thanksgiving. Obviously, there's going to be some marketing tie-ins about, if you don't want to feast with your family, go to the movies and watch Resident Evil.
Oh, that would be
Or feast
bad.
on your family, Doug.
There you go. I mean, there's going to be all sorts of goofy marketing with that, but I'm a sucker for that type of thing. I love it.
Bobby Broadway would like to know if I'm British. No, I'm from China.
There you go.
She's on a Cray 1 supercomputer with a couple extra gigs of RAM.
Oh boy, the things Glenn finds. All right, so I pulled this article up, and I haven't seen this, Doug. I was busy today, but I saw the sneaker on here with Xbox. What are we looking at here? Talk to me.
So, I mean, this is one of those, again, weird kind of gimmicky marketing things. But,
I'll say.
Xbox has partnered up with Adidas, and they're going to release a limited edition 20th anniversary sneaker, as well as some other products. They mentioned other sneakers and other products. They're not just going to do one shoe, but they created this little hype video trailer, and they made it all 90s. It's obviously, 4:3 aspect ratio, but this is to coincide with the 20th anniversary of the Xbox's release.
Look at Glenn.
I mean, yeah, Glenn's falling asleep because, I mean, what were you doing in the 90s, Glenn? Getting like your first, second, third AARP card in the mail. I don't know. What.
Oh,
But
Glenn.
no, one thing I wanted to make mention about this specifically is the funny thing about this sneaker release is I bet even with all the hype beasts and the supreme type of people that go after this type of thing, I bet this is still easier to get than an Xbox Series X console because it's a full year later since that thing has came out, just like the PlayStation 5, and it's still impossible to find in stores.
That's
the thing.
Stupid.
Glenn, I could see you wearing these.
No.
I really could.
It doubles as safety. Like you
Here's
go outside
why
walking across the street, nobody's going to run you over.
Here's where you won't find me wearing that shoe. You won't find it in $5 or less. Okay, that's where I buy my shoes. $5 or less. So there's no way I'm buying that shoe.
Well, Clinton Clarion says, "Well, hope it doesn't have the red ring of death." So
there you go.
Laces. The red laces edition, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, that would be
AI.
Would that be stupid if you're walking down the street and your shoe just stops and you fall on your face because you got the red ring shoe? Come on.
I mean, I will admit these shoes are definitely a little too out there for me as far as the color spectrum. I would have to kick my own ass for wearing these just for looking silly. But I got fingers crossed because they did, like I said, they made mention that they were going to release other products and other shoes. Maybe they got something else, like a Halo shoe, obviously, is going to be a no-brainer release. So maybe that looks cool. A little more toned down, a little more, hey, look at me.
Gears of War underwear.
Well, there you go.
Is that an indication that you would buy that, Glenn? Is that what you're saying?
No, I still like my underoos. I would wear my underoos.
Okay. Well.
They're very nice underoos.
Whoa. Whoa, Glenn.
Wow, okay.
Oh, all right, so Glenn, you're going to have to... No.
Retrograde's there's cameras on these computers nowadays. You don't always block the camera. I mean,
I was getting ready to say, Glenn, you said that you went on the internet to try to find some sort of AI assistance to help with the comments, and all of a sudden she knows exactly what your underoos look like. I mean, I don't know if it's your privacy settings, your browser, your webcam, that you're just strutting around in the house, but something needs to change with you guys' lifestyle choices. This is how Skynet gets online. Takes over. They start with the underoos. They start with the underoos, and they end with the skeleton crushing exoskeletons marching down to apocalyptic death.
Doug, I got nothing, Doug. I got nothing.
Well, on that note, let's talk a little Rockstar, huh?
There we go.
Let's see here. I think I have it pulled up. I do. Let's pull her up. Talk to us.
So, speaking of 20th anniversaries, like I said, it was the 20th anniversary of Xbox, but it's also the 20th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 3. Fantastic game, PlayStation 2, seminal classic. But not only that, there was San Andreas, Vice City, all fantastic games. Well, Rockstar officially announced today, because it had already kind of been leaked and rumored for the last week or so, that they are coming out with the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Collection. So this is going to be coming out later this year on every freaking console platform you can imagine. As you can see there, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series X, PC, Nintendo Switch, you name it. It's coming on whatever console you're playing on right now. It's going to have updated graphics, new gameplay modes, functionality. It's just going to do all these games justice and give you another reason to go back to these great games.
Hasn't this been rumored for like years? This hasn't been just rumored for months or weeks. This has been rumored for years.
Not as long as Duke Nukem was, but it was a while.
Yeah,
true.
But still, this is like, there's diehard, Grand Theft Auto fans out there that have been waiting for this game. They knew they were coming out with it.
Well, speaking of diehard Grand Theft Auto fans, that's the thing. Like, they're still on Grand Theft Auto 5 that came out on the PlayStation 3, got ported to the PlayStation 4, and just got announced to be coming out to the PlayStation 5. So people are pretty sick and tired of Grand Theft Auto 5. So this is something Rockstar really needed to get out there, because people are literally outside of Rockstar Studios with pitchforks and torches begging for Grand Theft Auto 6. So this is a nice little way for them to, dangle the carrot in front of the crowd to appease them and say, hey, remember those games you loved from 20 years ago? Guess what? We're going to polish them up, shine them up real nice, and give them back to you and charge you, whatever, and you'll buy it because that's the people you are. But I am one of those suckers. I'll buy it. Haven't played these games in years, and think, updated graphics and visuals. Like Grand Theft Auto 3 was such like a game changer, because if you played any of the original Grand Theft Autos with the top-down view that looked like a Super Nintendo game or an NES game. It's just very basic sprites, and then all of a sudden it jumped massive leaps and bounds when Grand Theft Auto 3 came. They went from 3D, third person visual, massive sandbox level. I mean, it was an amazing feat and accomplishment that really is still quite impressive to play to this day. I remember like my father was even playing Grand Theft Auto 3 one morning. Like I came down, I was like, my parents don't play video games. My dad's sitting there, he's like, you can kill hookers on here. I'm like, yes, Dad. Welcome to the beautiful world of video games. And he's like, this is great. I'm like, oh man.
Isn't it just hard to imagine that the game's like 20 years old, that these games are that old already? I mean, that's, to me, a mind blower right there.
Yeah, I try not to think of things like that because then I go in a deep, dark depression.
Yeah, you realize you're getting
Wonderful.
older.
Yeah,
There you
thanks
go.
for reminding me, Glenn.
Yeah,
And on that
way to
note,
go.
I'll drink.
We were doing well there. We're gonna take a quick break and come back, and we got some other topics to discuss as well as very cool game that we want to talk about. So stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
All right, and we are back, and we've been going over a lot of the cool news here, but one of the things we wanted to try to do is maybe in the first half of the show, get the news out of the way so we could talk turkey. Talk games. I don't know. That sounded good.
I was about to say, that's...
Talk turkey.
I thought you were talking about the turkey in the middle. I thought you were talking about Glenn there. And I was
Well,
like, when
I
did we
kind of
start
was
effectively
going
referring
there.
to him as turkey.
I was going there with Thanksgiving coming. We're
Yeah.
kinda, I was thinking about it, but we're gonna have a new segment going on. Whether it's me, Doug, or Glenn, new game alert. So we're gonna show you the new game. All right, so guys, Metroid Dread came out. It was released today. And Doug, you said that you didn't pre-order this.
No, I dropped the ball. Like I said, my backlog is getting a little bit carried away right now, and I've already got some other YouTube projects that I need to be working on. So I knew I wouldn't give it the time and justice to get after it, so I passed on it.
Well, I got mine, and Glenn, we know you didn't open your Switch up, right?
What's Metroid?
Yeah, well, there you go. So he doesn't know what Zelda is. He doesn't know what Metroid is. So, so Metroid was a really good game. I really liked growing up with the Nintendo. So I was like, this is the first one that's in a while that's been a platformer. I think the one for the GameCube I have it kind of feels like Duke Nukem or Doom, right? If anybody played that. So I recorded this earlier. This was my first attempt at the game, and I'm not going to play the whole clip and bore you guys to death.
Wait. Did you play it on normal, easy, or hard mode? Because the internet loves to give people crap if they don't play it on extra, ultra hard or whatever.
I don't even know
I
because
like God mode.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I don't even know. It didn't
That's,
really give me an option for that. I just went into the game. So whatever was defaulted is what I played it on. Now, again, I played it for like
Oh my God, the loading times.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's like a lot. The loading time's really a long time for a cartridge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
I was getting ready to say, yeah, that's almost like disc-based type of stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of crap in the beginning here where like you're seeing a lot of movie clips, and I was like, dang, are we going to get into this game? Like, I get this. It looks fantastic, but
I assume you could probably skip the cutscenes.
I was hitting the buttons. I couldn't figure out which buttons to drag it. So What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of scrub through here, guys, and we'll get to the actual game. The cool part is they did integrate the game with the movie scenes, or the video trailer parts.
Spoiler alert for everyone out there: it's a woman.
Yeah, Samus is a woman. Okay.
Dragon Gamer says there's a reason it takes so long to load. Metroid really pushes the Switch.
So this is the actual gameplay. So I was trying to figure out in the beginning what buttons do what.
Wait a minute, you didn't read the included instruction manual? Oh
no.
wait, that's right. Instruction manuals don't come with games anymore.
There's no well, it's in the game, but the other thing I had a hard time with at the beginning was figuring out. I did it by accident. Was the run and slide, and they tell you right there, press Z1, and I went and I did it, and then I started doing some other things, and I forgot what button it was once I got to the top here. But I mean, overall, I'm going to play this tonight. This was a
yeah. I mean, it looks good. I like the backgrounds, the textures.
Now, one thing I will tell you, see me moving that laser around to sight up. That's a little touchy, and that's kind of why I was doing it. It's the way it works.
The analog stick? It goes with the analog stick, right?
It goes with the analog stick, but it's touchy. You got to go kind of left and right rather than rotating your thumb. It was just a little touchy. It was just something I had to get used to with it. But the wall climbing's good. What did she say? Oh, I don't even want to know.
Glenn has clearly pre-programmed this AI with some of his standard quips.
Oh my goodness.
Dragon Gamer also says the game plays good on a pro controller. So were you just using?
I was I was using a pro controller. I thought about that too because of the tonight I'm going to play it on the actual Switch, but I was playing it earlier on using my pro controller.
Well, visually, I mean, it really does look gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of skip through some of this here and get to like they show you here with this guy how you can bounce back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, there's even a block type thing that you can do by hitting your X button, I believe. X or Y?
I don't know anything of this block you speak of. Any game I play, blocking is a suggestion, one that I never take.
Even in Street Fighter?
Even in Street Fighter, blocking's for suckers.
But I kind of thought with this, I thought it was a really good dynamic with it. I thought they did a really good job with the graphics, and again, this is the type of Metroid that I really like. The side to side, like I said, I didn't really enjoy the GameCube version of it at all, like the Doom Duke Nukem.
Well,
stuff.
I mean that's what people were kind of up in arms about. They were either all for this game or they were all against it. There was not a whole lot of in between. People were like, they wanted that new Metroid that has that that first person perspective, and Nintendo said, hey, we're working on that. We don't have any gameplay to show you essentially, but here's something to tide you over instead. Here's Metroid Dread that'll give you that kind of side-scrolling Game Boy Advance type of feel with obviously better visuals and graphics.
I think this was akin to the original. That's why maybe I like it a lot more than the other ones. And it's nothing against the other ones, so don't get me wrong. It reminded me a lot of the original Metroid, and that's what I liked about it.
It's that nostalgia.
It really is. It tugged on the nostalgia.
The heartstrings.
It did. It really did. So, the little bit I played it, I thought it was really good. I thought it was decent. I'm not overly excited about it, but I haven't played it a long time yet.
Now, did you like splurge completely and to get yourself the Nintendo Switch OLED?
I couldn't
you
get
the OLED.
No, I didn't get the OLED Switch, but there's some issues with the new OLED Switch. Did you see some overheating problems? So, I mean, to me, like. I stopped kind of really paying attention to the OLED Switch after it got announced when I found out it really didn't do anything new.
It had a marginally bigger screen and had a better battery, but other than that, I was like, there's no reason for me to justify retiring my current Switch to get this.
No, I don't feel the need. I mean, if you want, like my son who plays it in handheld mode all the time, it would benefit him. Me, I like to dock it, so... This is the guy that killed me a lot until I figured out how to beat him. You have to
shoot him in the dick.
You have to you got to shoot his eyeball out. So,
wow. tried and true method. Works.
Remember, it's a woman.
Works on robots.
It's a woman. It's a woman. So yeah.
But the effects there is unreal.
It's good.
Like you can go in there and then you get this new blaster with it and everything. So I don't know. What's everybody's thought? Has anybody else in the chat room? Did you guys get it? Do you like it? What's your thoughts on it? If you did get it, are we getting anybody saying whether they liked it or not? I mean, look, I think it's good. I think it'll be great to play on for Metroid until they come out with another one or whatnot. But I liked it.
It'll serve its purpose. It'll tide people over until the
the
first person, the official Metroid, so to speak, comes out.
So this might be something for Glenn because Glenn says he's running out of room. But
he's got all the room in the world now.
Yeah, it's totally different now. Now I got room galore.
Well, before you were saying you didn't have enough room. So there's a new product. Some of these guys have put out some reviews. Doug, I know you did a review on it before, but JC over at Tulsa Arcades, he sent me out, and I'll have a review coming up. He sent this out with just the wood and the frame. Obviously, you have to supply your own switch, buttons, encoders, all this other stuff. But this is a small tabletop. I think he's doing like $70, Doug, for it. $75 for it.
Yeah, you could get a cheaper if you want to put it all together yourself, but it's one of those things like, how much is your time worth to you?
Right. So I am activating this with the Pro Controller, so if you're wondering like what's going on. But this is basically you can play Zen Pinball on it. So I bought the Star Wars cartridge, and I downloaded the Universal cartridge on this as well. And I'll be honest, I've been playing it upstairs like while I'm watching TV, and my son, for those of you that watched the show before he was on, he just like, he's like, where'd you get that? I'm like, he's like, wait, that's your Switch? And I'm like, yeah. And he couldn't believe it. So,
and you got the new improved version, because the one Doug had, the cables for
the
Switch's interface went out the right side, so he got a new cable mechanism. So the one you have now is completely enclosed.
It's completely enclosed. He did cut a hole.
Looks much cleaner for sure.
He cut a hole in the side for the vent. But I mean, overall, the volume and everything, and I had to pull up Darth Vader because otherwise Glenn will have
there you go,
a coronary because he'll have a coronary because Kathleen Kennedy's monstrosities.
You could have went to the last Jedi table. It's a pretty fun table.
I don't need him dying on us here. But
Doug is trying to get me annoyed.
But having the buttons respond and everything, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the response on it was good. You can hear the flippers. I can't do it one-handed here, but.
And how do you find playing the games on the Switch itself on the screen? You think that everything is sharp enough? The ball is responsive enough?
It's moving 60 frames a second. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I think it's like, what is it, 720 in hand, or is it 1080 in handheld, or is it still 720 on this one?
It's 720 when you put it in that mode. It's 1080p when it's docked, but it still looks good. In my experience, I really enjoyed this little thing just because, like, I've played the Star Wars pinball games specifically on my Switch in tape mode where it's, vertical, but you've got the controls on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And it just feels really awkward for me to try to hold the Joy-Con like this with the Switch standing up. It just always wants to like tilt my hands down because of the weight of it. So I really liked this when this came about, and obviously my wife gravitated towards it because it was so small. She can literally put it in her lap and sit there and play. So we've been enjoying it. I'm kind of jealous that you got the upgraded version because I got the dangly wire version, which is unique.
I got the Air version. Look.
Yeah, there you go.
All I know.
Now, another thing to note is that the Switch it's a special encoder. You can't just purchase like a regular encoder. It's a specific one for the Switch, and everything's wired up. But it does look much. Doug, the one you have, it looks nice. But I agree, the addition of that special right angle connector in here makes that look really, really nice. The one thing I wish you would add, though, even if it doesn't work, is just putting a back box on it. Maybe just putting a Tesla logo on it.
I heard some rumors.
Logo.
I heard some rumors that they might be working on something like that. So,
yep.
But one of the things that I did on the second time that I played it, okay, And I'm just going to show this because y'all, you used to watch Legend Center and everything like that. And things just don't change around here. If you notice, who's number one on the scoreboard there with 40 million points and he's trying to catch up because he had only 4 million yesterday. So he's actively trying to beat me now.
Well, maybe he was just trying it for the first time. I hope with that 4 million score anyway.
I'm thinking not.
Because you gotta learn the tables if you're not familiar with them. You gotta learn the rule sets, kind of dial.
Sure, we'll go with that. He did it on Child of the Force. I did it on the Darth Vader table. Second time playing, I had 40 million. I was doing really good. Now Hollywood Polo is saying the screen's way too small. I disagree. Like, I was playing this, and honestly, I didn't have to get really close. I thought it was really well done. I
mean, it's a Nintendo Switch. Like, if you've ever played your Nintendo Switch in handheld mode, you know what you're already accustomed to. I mean, I wasn't playing this thing, this close to my face. I just put it on a table in front of me, and I was fine. But then again, I have young person eyes still, thankfully, knock on wood. So,
Glenn, you're missing the way this is.
What?
He's missing all. That's what she says.
I've been trying to be good. I'm trying to be good, Retro Babe. I'm trying to behave. But I wanted to ask though, with the Switch, because I don't know about these newfangled consoles, with the design of a Tesla arcade machine, can you still connect it through HDMI? Use it as for the flippers, but have it on your main screen. TV set.
Like so what are you asking? Because
like on a dock mode, can you still get HDMI out to turn on a big TV, but use it in that mode?
I thought about tearing apart my Toy Shock, converting the screen to HDMI, docking my Switch, and taking the USB encoder from this. I know Dubs did a video where he used the Joy-Cons for the Switch and put them on the side of the cabinet. I don't want to do that. I want to use the actual buttons on the side and the push buttons in the front. And I don't have the plunger, but the encoder board, because some of the guys were even saying about the encoder board, they're like, well, it would have been cool if they had the analog stick so you could pull down on it and make that your plunger. You can do that. You can buy the analog sticks and plug it into the USB encoder.
Just a little extra work. Yeah.
It is a little bit extra work and get it in there, but I mean, overall, on the bottom, I don't know if yours is like that, Doug, where it has the vent on the bottom that just you slide this up and off. But oops. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, but all in all, it's a very clean design. It's got the Tulsa Arcade logo, graphics on it, which I don't care. I thought it was good
stuff, so it's a win.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's comfortable to play. I will say I did move my flipper buttons to the front white ones instead of the back, like the Legends Pinball, because I found myself, because of how small it is, accidentally hitting the nudge buttons. So I just kind of reversed it. That's the only thing I did, and then I bought like a USB-C adapter. I'm going to pop this out here. I didn't use the included cable that he had given. I kind of rigged it up my own way. I took, let me go full screen here so I can show you guys. And I'll show this in the review. But he has a pocket hollowed out in the side. And I bought a USB 2 to USB-C adapter. And it was a little thick, so I took my knife and cut the excess plastic off and just put electrical tape there just to be safe. But it fits right in the side of it, so that way your Switch sits flat on this and there's no issues. It's better than putting a ton of cable inside there. Like, he had nothing against him with that, but it was like a 6-foot cable that you're sticking inside this little box, right? So that was the only thing. And then I did call Dubs on how his calibration was with it, how he set it up with the encoder board. So if somebody's interested, I'll put those settings, or basically where you plug them in on the encoder board, as a starter so that you can make it work on the video when I do the review video. But all in all, I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was, when he first sent it to me and asked if I wanted to try it, I thought, this is one of those things that it's going to sit here. I'll end up giving it away to somebody, right?
What is this,
I played
a
this a
pinball
lot.
machine for ants?
Right. Well, I was sitting there and I'm like, this is actually cool.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't the Switch have motion controls on there? Can't you just
It
nudge
does.
the little cabinet versus hitting buttons on it?
Well, you're not using the Joy-Cons, so you're using the actual buttons. But You can nudge with the front buttons just like you would on the Toy Shock or on the Legends Pinball.
So you basically have to have a Joy-Con connected for the motion
You
control.
you would, because that's the only way I think the accelerometer would even work with it
Because
as
the
well.
accelerometers are actually in the Joy-Cons themselves.
Yeah, they're not in the actual screen. So, but
Nintendo, you screwed up, Nintendo.
I thought it was
Blank.
cool. I thought it was very well done. Considering, like you said, Doug, if you have the time to build yourself, you can do it yourself if you have the time. But I don't, and believe it or not, I took the old Arcade1Up buttons from when I modded my Arcade1Up Street Fighter, and I put them in. The only thing you can't do is in the front. I use these light buttons, but I don't light them up because I don't want to drain the battery of the Switch. Shorter ones, because otherwise you hit the side buttons. So keep that in mind, guys. If you do buy one of these, you can use your Arcade1Up buttons. I didn't really care if they were
And what does he charge for them?
He doesn't do the buttons.
No, I mean for the unit. What does he sell the unit?
Oh, I think the unit's like $70 or $75 without any
That's not
graphics
bad.
or no. And because the Arcade1Up buttons have those little humps on the top, you guys, you know how that goes. They're not complete round. I just took a Dremel. It took me 5 minutes, and I took black marker, put it up against it where the little hump was. Took a Dremel and Dremeled it up so the buttons fit right in there. So I mean, easy 5 minutes.
Manipulation.
Yep.
Yes. Manipulate it, got it working. It's all good in the hood. So that was kind of my pickup this week, if you will. I got some in-ear bud headphones for review too, but I didn't really check it out. But Glenn, did you get anything this week worth noting?
Actually, I got a couple of things. I'm going to try and do a video as soon as I can actually find my camera. I have no idea where I put my camera or anything.
Under the sea.
Yeah.
I know where it is.
Angel actually has sent me a couple of things. You know, Angel's he's just a really, really nice guy. He sent me, I think, an Arcade1Up Countercade, and he also sent me a Legends Arcade Mini. Actually, Scott Baccarat had sent me some things as well. Scott has been very, very good to me over the 2 years, but it feels like it's many, many years. He's a very good guy. And I also received something from someone else, which I'm going to put in the video. So I've had some nice donations, which has really been pretty special. And I'm going to do a video, talking about those type of things. I just want to talk real quick, if I can. And a lot of people ask me about, where our new stuff is. It's just shipping. We're having a horrible time just trying to get product over here. So I take my hat off to the other companies that
Read the comment.
pricing. No, they're stuck. That's the problem. The track bolts are stuck. The steering wheel is stuck. The new discs of Tron push-pull spinners stuck. The regular spinners are stuck. The Star Wars version 2s are stuck. They're all sitting in port in China. So when you start looking at these price increases with like Arcade1Up being so expensive, I'm telling you, they got to be paying through the nose to try and get product over here. And that's got to be why a lot of these price increases are happening, because unless you grease these people over there, you're not getting stuff sent. We've been trying for weeks. Actually, Micro Center is going to be carrying a lot of my stuff, and it's been sitting. It's been sitting a while in China still. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if my stuff will work in the new Tron. I'd like it to be. I don't know, honestly, if the spinner in the Tron is a push-pull or just a standard rotation. You can still play discs of Tron with a regular spinner to get to the higher levels, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Surely they aren't going to shoot themselves in the foot again and not do a push-pull spinner. I mean, otherwise, yeah, again, if you're charging high rate prices, premium prices, and you're giving somebody a quasi-functional device to play a game, that's bad juju.
Glenn,
Well, that's why we have to wait till it gets released to find out.
you need to just buy yourself a cargo ship like Walmart's doing and
Yeah.
get your stuff here. That's all you got to do.
Well,
You gotta
I'm hoping. That's the thing. I'm hoping RetroBabe can kind of infiltrate the computers on the boat docks and just put my stuff in and get it over here.
Oh boy.
You got some work you gotta do, Retro Babe.
Even she gives the same response that we all give.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Well, Glenn, here's the curious question, because you made mention of, everything coming over from China is, literally stuck in ports, and it takes an exorbitant amount of hurdle jumping to get things in.
Yep.
I remember Retro Babe specifically said she came over from China and arrived very quickly, and you basically stated that you got to grease some wheels. So whose wheels were you greasing to get Retro Babe over here? And
I had priorities. We needed Retro Babe here
Priority
for the
shipping.
channel, so that took priority. It did.
You never asked how the sausage is made.
Definitely not from a robot at that.
No. But it's disappointing because my partners actually spent a lot of money just to get stuff sent to Micro Center, and it's still not there. We're hoping to be there next week to 10 days, but the amount they had to spend to do that, any profit we'd have gotten from that, which wasn't a lot anyway. We try and do this as inexpensive as possible so people can buy them, and we're not really making money on it. So now we're again probably losing a little money just to get it over here, just to get it out, because we want people to use them. So not the smartest business sense, but we were never in this to make the money. We're here to try and make people's game experience better. And it's just been really difficult with it.
Got a question for you, Glenn, from Dash Rendar. Says, what did Glenn think of the Tron Arcade1Up cabinet?
Well, I'm going to be totally honest. I think it's a beautiful looking cabinet. I do like the fact they're trying to do the right thing. They have a backlight in there, a black backlight in there to glow the artwork. Okay, I just hope that the artwork is not something that's going to rub off. It's going to stay on there. If it does, I think the effect they have in there is great. I like the fact that they took the idea that we had with lighting up the joystick, because the original Tron joystick was not lit. That's something they most likely got from me, and I take full credit for that. I'm going to take credit for that, period. But I do like the design of it. My only concern is that the spinner is a push-pull, because they have Disc of Tron on there. And again, you can play Disc of Tron for a while. Once you get to the upper levels, if it's not a push-pull spinner, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people out there. And I don't know if mine will work. Mine is USB, and we've had issues with the countercades and the spinner. I actually have a prototype that's been trying to get to me as well of my spinner that should work with the countercades. There's an issue where it would turn one direction. If we turned it right, it went left. If we turned it left, nothing would happen. We think we solved that problem. And I just hope that we can, again, give people what they want if the Tron Arcade1Up needs it. But I do think they're doing the right thing now. They're making cabinets look like or similar to the arcade cabinets. I think that's what they should stick to. They don't need 30 games on there. They don't need 20 games on there. A couple of good games and a machine that looks the part. The new Centipede looks that way. The Tempest looks that way. And the Tron looks that way. So I think they're on the right track. But I just want to defend them a little bit. I know people saying I'm not paying $800 for a Tron or $700 for a Tron. I'm guaranteeing you that's got to be just getting them here, because they have to be greasing someone to get them here. They have to be.
Well, we are going to have to wrap this up. It's been a fun show, but in order to stay on target for the radio and everything, if you guys...
Oh, on the radio. We all are on the radio.
Basics Radio, if you ever want to check us out, if you need to leave and you want to listen to the rest of the show, Basics Broadcasting, that's with an X.com. You guys can go and download the app to your smartphone and listen to us live every Friday at 8, I almost said 6, 8 p.m. Eastern, our new time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Douglas Smith, youtube.com/COOLTOY. You guys can follow him. I'm sure he's got some new pickups this week. That's going to cause me to get broke because my son...
You picked up Retro Babe.
Well, that's what you picked up. We didn't get to you yet. YouTube.com/GPlanamento, and we're going to have to get a social presence, I think, for Retro Babe.
Oh, dear.
To see where you guys can get in touch with her. Guys, I really hope you guys had a lot of fun tonight. We tried to bring a smile to your face, have a little fun at the same time. We'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until next time, guys, keep it buzzing.